Greetings and salutations, you beautiful people of YouTube. It must have been lag here, and I want to talk about a game that's really caught my eye. Rogue Company. It's the new third-person shooter from Hi-Rez Studios, the makers of Paladins, the makers of Smite, and they're really onto something here. Now, I got to play it in its beta form. I got it from the Epic Game Store, yes, I know. Never even heard of it before the Switch presentation, and even at the Switch presentation, I didn't think nothing of it. But me and my friends were bored and decided to try the game. I fell in love. I'm playing this game every day. In fact, when I should be streaming other things, I'm choosing to play Rogue Company. It's an interesting game in the fact that it's just competitive enough to keep you entertained. But it's not as sweaty as a game like Valorant, where if you're not doing the right thing at the right time with a specific character, you're playing the game wrong. And that's what I love. Let's take a look at this article. So this is from PC Gamer by George Jimenez. Hi-Rez Studios' new shooter is a good time, but you wouldn't know it from its generic title. Hi-Rez Studio games have always managed to find a niche in the competitive landscape. From Smite, its god-themed MOBA, to Realm Royale, a fantasy take on the Battle Royale, Hi-Rez approaches popular competitive game genres with interesting ideas. In this case, Rogue Company is a 4v4, third-person, character-based shooter with a sense of humor. It's a game where the team takes the best positioning and ability coordination wins, but it's also a place where you can throw a katana at somebody's face and dance over their body. The game's premise might sound familiar to Rainbow Six fans. Rogue Company is a paramilitary peacekeeping force comprised of a bunch of celebrity secret agents, murderous men and women that are the best of the best from their respective countries. It's kind of like if each member of G.I. Joe had 1 million followers on Instagram. The 13 agents fall under the usual archetypes we've seen before. The reformed Yakuza who won't button his shirt, the hacker with the LED face, the lady sniper in a stealth suit. There's a vibe and aesthetic for everyone, even if some are a little eye-rolly. Yeah, it's basically Overwatch meets Valorant. In fact, the main game type is Valorant style. 4v4, 1 death per round, and one team has to activate the bomb while the other team has to defend it. Now, we also have Strikeout, which is actually a really cool game where each side starts with 12 lives. And you have tickets. Every time somebody dies, you lose a ticket, but there's also the control point, which has a clock on it, and when the clock comes to full rotation, if your team has it, the other team loses a ticket. So you could potentially be more defensive and get less kills than the other team, but still won because you hold your ground. I really like the things they're doing with this game, and knowing Hi-Rez, it's going to cost individually each agent that comes out, but they're going to be good because they want you to buy the agent. They put a lot of effort into the gods and Smite. After diving into a few matches, Rogue Company has the potential to insert itself into my competitive gaming rotation. I found myself really digging the speedy pace of the combat along with the wacky agents, actually fun to play with. The format's nice and straightforward. The beta currently has 2 teams face off in a pair of modes, Strikeout and Demolition. I already went into that. And he continues, seconds into a match, you could see the influence of other popular free-to-play shooters such as Valorant and Fortnite. I said that. Stop me if any of these seem familiar. Yeah. Okay. Once you land, Rogue Company starts to come into its own. It seems to become a frantic back-and-forth fight over choke points, a contest who can establish superior sight lines as you work your way into planting the bomb or holding the capture point. He keeps going. He's basically saying all the things I'm saying, but I have to absolutely give it to this game. I'm kind of burnt out. I go back and forth between single-player and multiplayer, and when I go to the multiplayer, I get burnt out because I'm an artist. I'm a tattoo artist. I like to be creative. I like to do things my way. And the problem with a lot of modern competitive video games is there's only one way to do it. It just becomes min-maxing. And you have to use this gun. You have to use this character. You have to run this route. You have to hug these walls. And while Rogue Company is not immune to such ideas, there's a lot of freedom in how you choose to play the game. And that's huge for me because you just don't see it enough. You know, it's just, I don't know, maybe it's just me. But a lot of these games have just become zero creativity. It's more of a mathematic formula on how to win. And while that has pretty much existed since the dawn of video games, there's the more obscure, especially single-player games that let you do things your way, at your pace, take the routes. They're especially giving you this non-linear approach with the open world games where you choose how the story is done. That's why I've always been a fan of the open world RPGs with multiple endings and classes and stuff, because Yeah, I'm not going to see 90% of the game, but that 10% of the game, that's my game. I made, I wrote. That's important. I mean, I might have gone a little off tangent from Rogue Company, but I enjoy the casual element to it. The ability to just go in and you don't have to try hard and you still have potential to win. You could take different routes. You could play different characters. There doesn't need to be a healer. There doesn't need to be the forward carry. It's completely up to you, and I really, really do enjoy that about the game. Now, when I used to play Overwatch, the first thing people would ask me is, who do you main? And I always said, you're asking the wrong question. If you're playing the game to actually be competitive, you shouldn't main anyone in particular. You need to have that variability to pivot yourself, to complement your team. That being said, we all have preference. And I'll tell you right now, the 3 characters I'm really digging are Vi, Anvil, and Glitch. Vi is my particular favorite. She drops down these poison clouds that'll damage tick enemies while healing yourself a little bit. Very tactical. It's more of a zone control versus Anvil, who could either get in there in the front or defend the back. He just places down this big shield, but really, it's his machine gun that takes the cake. It's probably the best gun in the game, if you ask me. Glitch, on the other hand, is all around a complete different character, and he has a submachine gun and a shotgun, but his special ability is to hack other people and shut them down. It's like you're playing from the front, but you're also playing from the side, and you just want to position yourself that you could help your team from the assault coming and also go around the back and hit them. There's just many ways to play the same characters. You could go completely aggressive with Anvil, or you could stay back and be defensive. And usually the 2 weapon choices that you have with these characters gives you the ability to choose whether you want to be aggressive with them or not. For example, Glitch comes with a submachine gun and a shotgun. That's 2 complete different play styles, even though they're both relatively close range, which I think is Glitch's biggest downfall, is you can't play the long game as well, but you're not supposed to with that character. But you can if you play smart. That's why I love this game. Going into the menu system, as you could see, each character has an option of 2 main weapons, the ability to upgrade their secondary handgun, the melee weapon, and the ability to add grenades, semtex, EMPs, flashbangs, dependent on the character. And then more importantly, if you look down, we have our perk systems. The perk systems are super cool and more important than you might think for any character, because it changes the game in subtle but major ways. The fact that you could be immune to being targeted through surveillance. The fact that you could move a little quicker once taking damage. The ability to gain 25 points of armor, that could be the deciding factor in a one-on-one. It's just these little subtle things that accrue over time. And my favorite thing, they don't give you this huge plethora of like magic boots and this scope and all that crap. It's 2 guns. You could fully upgrade one of each. You could fully upgrade both if you do well enough. Who knows? But there's just a very small linear route. I am not a Monster Hunter player because you need to craft the thing to make the thing to craft the thing to make the thing. I don't like systems that in depth. Like Fallout is as far as it goes. JRPGs, forget about it. You know, it's just too many systems. And yes, if you like that in depth, that's good on you, but I don't always like that, especially in shooters like this. The fact that it has a super clean, super minimal way to upgrade throughout the match is probably one of my favorite aspects of the game. So all in all, these are my impressions on Rogue Company. I am a huge fan. I'm very excited to see the future of it, where we go, what new agents we get. If we actually get some story behind the characters even further, that would be fantastic. I hope they don't overcomplicate things when the beta ends. I'd love to know what you guys think about Rogue Company. Right now, I'm having a blast, and you could always catch me streaming it on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. It's Must Have Been Lag. Please like and subscribe. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this. Have a great one. Thank you.
One plant.
Objective.
Utility arm the bomb. Defend it. All enemies have been eliminated.